Hey, pussy, are you still there?
I actually admire that you can actually be this fake. And like when the TV comes on, how you can just change. You're the scum of the earth.
You don't doubt me, I couldn't do it. The odds that I couldn't do it. Look at me now. Lebanon, pound for pound, headshot, dead. That's it.
Fellas,
What it do? What it do?
what is going on? We are back with possibly the biggest episode of Over the Octagon to date. It's a very special one, and you'll find out real soon. I'm your host, Joel, along with Evan and Nick. And today we get to talk about possibly the biggest UFC fight card of all time, UFC 300, boys. We're here. So if you're listening in, if you're tuning in right now, you're probably tuning into one of the parts of the videos, part 1 or part 2. But make sure you like, subscribe to each of our channels, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all of our social medias. If you listen to the audio versions, make sure you subscribe to the Spotifys and the Amazon Musics and the Apple Musics of the world. But yeah, fellas, it's here. We're 6 days away from UFC 300. And there's literally not a dead fight on this card. Bound to be electric. I mean, do you guys disagree when people say this is the biggest fight card of all time?
No, I think it's easily the biggest card of all time.
When you even look into like what is compared to this as well, I can't even remember one that's even close as this. This is hands down the best fucking fight card.
I mean, is it wild to say that 299 was
no
top 3?
I was thinking the ones that were actually close to this are the ones that happened last year because they've gotten only better and better.
Because, I mean, 299 was stacked. I think when we talked about 299, from top to bottom, every single fight had a ranked fighter on it. So, I mean, that in itself is already big. And now we get UFC 300, which it's weird you can't say that because obviously you have Bo Nickel and Cody Brundage on the card. But then again, you have from the very first fight on the card all the way to the main event, every single fight on this card has implements to get somewhere and get to the top 10, top 5 championship fights, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, fellas, let's jump right into it. It's a big card, going to be a lot to talk about. I don't want to waste any time. Let's get right into it, and we'll go right from the bottom, boys.
Yeah.
Kick off our night. We have 2 legends. I mean, we're going to start with Davison Figueiredo, who is now coming up a weight class into the bantamweight division, and then a legend in himself, Cody Garbrandt, who has made his return recently back into the UFC from injuries and things like that, and he's been on a killing spree. Boys, this fight in itself is going to be electric. I'll let one of you guys talk about this one, and then we can kind of go from there.
Get it murky.
Yeah, Davison Figueiredo, Cody Garbrandt. I mean, this is Figueiredo's second fight in the bantamweight division.
Bantam, slantam.
Anybody that is a frequent listener over the Octagon knows how Nick says bantamweight and it's bantamweight. So bantamweight, yeah. Davison Figueiredo's second fight in the bantamweight division goes against Cody Garbrandt. Davison Figueiredo is ranked number 8 in the division already. 2 former champions. This is the first fight of the night. It's on the early prelims. I mean, it starts with this. I mean,
2 former champions.
Prelims,
That you just said that. That's wild.
2 former champions. I've said it a ton, but this stat continues to shock me. UFC 300 accounts for 10.8% of all UFC champions ever in the history. So just absolutely insane. And this is how we started off. Cody Garbrandt's on his way, kind of, on a win streak, coming back up, but this is tough, man. And Davison's going, trying to make a name for himself in the bantamweight. It's so hard to call. It's going to be just.
It is. We talked about Davison Figueiredo too, making that jump up to the bantamweight division, and he's 2 wins away from being a champion. He was already a champion. Now he's in a new weight division, and he's got the recognition to go and make that push. But with a guy like Garbrandt, who was already also a champion and also a killer in himself, big win like this gets him right into the top 10, gets him right up in the mix with everybody else. So
I want to see it, man. I want to see it bad. I was a Cody fan.
Win?
Yeah, I became a fan of him after his reign. You know what I'm saying? And just
Sure.
like it honestly took. I always thought he's a little bit too cocky for my taste, but it almost took me to watch him like decline, then make a comeback to like him more. And I think this is super impressive what he's doing, man. I just hope that chin is still available. Like, goddamn, that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But
Ugh.
you know, Figgy's so used to fighting in that flyweight division, it may be perfect for Garbrandt. And
I was gonna say that. Yeah, I don't know if Figgy has the same power that Garbrandt's used to, right? I mean, Garbrandt's been fighting some heavy hitters in the bantamweight division for a long, long time.
Yeah.
One being a guy we just had on the podcast.
Right.
know?
Yeah. In Rafael
Yes.
Sunsao.
What?
Rafael Sunsao.
Yeah.
That's the
so-
wild stat right there.
Right. So, I mean, but just to have this starting off the night, man, this is going to be fireworks. This is not going to be a boring fight. This fight's going to be super exciting. I think it's going to kick us off perfectly. It's going to be exactly what we need it to be to kind of stage the rest of the night and what everything's going to look like.
Absolutely. I think we do go around the room too once we get done talking about every fight and just basically give our pick for every single fight. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
So, Nasty, you were about to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I was asking myself this. I was like, man, would I get mad if this fight was on the main event? I was like, no, I wouldn't get mad at all. And that's crazy. It's the first fight of the early prelims.
No, there's not one fight on this card
Fucking
that I would
nuts.
be mad if it was on the main event or any of the fights.
There's one. There's one. Yeah,
What?
Jessica
Andrade
Andrade was on.
Yeah, that's true. If
That was
Andrade
fun.
and Marina Rodriguez was on the main card,
That's
it'd be
it,
a little
though.
ridiculous. Yeah.
That's it,
true.
though.
Fair enough. All right, boys. Well, then let's go around. I'll go ahead and make my pick first. I am going to pick. I'm going to pick Davison Figueiredo to
Whoa.
win by decision. I think he's going to outlast Garbrandt on the ground, and that's where I think he's going to win this fight from. Because I don't think he wants to stand and bang with Garbrandt. I think he's smart enough to know that. So I think that's how he edges out the win. And he is a big favorite, by the way, so I'm not picking him because of that. But I think that's how his key to victory is going to be on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. But fuck it. I'm going no love, baby.
No way.
Yeah, let's get it. Fuck them. You know what I mean? Who cares?
Honestly, I'm riding with you right there, Murky. I have to. I'm here for
I'm
it.
already
I want it
getting
to happen.
2v1, boy.
On paper, I mean, yes, I would have Cody losing, but like, dude, there's
No, it's
something
no
in the
love's
air.
time.
It's no,
It's
it
Cody.
is.
It's no love's time.
Yeah, it is,
Don't
man. I'm
call
riding
it a
that.
comeback.
Yep. Oh, I hope he
All
comes
right.
out to that.
That'd be crazy.
Oh my god.
All right, so we got two for Cody and one for Figgy. Love it. Now let's get into the next one, boys. We got two veterans of the game.
Yeah.
One extreme veteran.
Yep.
Crazy stat. Jim Miller is still around, still kicking, boys. We've seen him on 100. We've seen him on 200. And now we get the fucking trifecta. We get him on UFC 300. And he's going to be fighting against Bobby Green, who has power in them hands.
Yeah.
But he's on a kind of a little skid, man. He's
Yeah.
kind of got beaten up here recently.
Yeah.
So it's a big chance for Jim Miller to kind of go out on his shield and you know, kind of represent his legacy. And then it's a big chance for Bobby Green to really just get back into the mix. So go ahead, Nasty. We'll let you talk about this one a little bit.
It's a good fucking fight, guys. It
is.
It's a hard one to call. I've gone back on who I would pick on this numerous times. I mean, this could go either way. We've seen Jim Miller the last couple of fights. He has been in outstanding shape. Dude, he has been in great. He has no signs of slowing down. He almost looks better now. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
That last fight he had, it was incredible.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And Bobby Green is hard to call because, he beat a Tony Ferguson we don't even know who that is right now. He just lost to Jalen Turner. I mean, It's wild, man. If it could go either way. But
Jim
I'm
Miller's on
excited
a
for this
2-fight win streak right now. you know?
Correct. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Jim Miller also, for people who kind of are unaware, obviously Dirty said he's been on UFC 100, 200, and now will be on UFC 300. He's also the current record holder for most wins in the UFC ever. So I mean, just an absolute vet of the game. I like Bobby Green in this, I think, but it's such a cool moment for Jim Miller. It's just an unbelievable career in mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
You're going with Bobby Green.
I'm going with Bobby Knuckles. Yep.
Yeah.
Bobby
Dude.
Knuckles. Okay,
Yeah.
nasty.
Man, I'm going with Jim Miller.
Now we get to fucking beat up Murky because it's fucking Jim Miller time, baby.
Yeah, I got
it's
second
Miller
round
time.
It's Miller time, second round TKO. What's up?
Yeah.
Also
Jim fucking
crazy
Miller.
stat with this fight right here.
You're cutting out. Can't hear anything you're saying.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right. So crazy stat. This fight right here will be a combined 103 total fights between these guys.
Yeah.
Oh
in their
my God.
career. 103.
Mm-hmm.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
A lot of vet experience between
Bobby
these
Green,
two.
it's got 31 wins. Jim Miller has 37 wins. So this is big. I mean,
Yeah,
you don't really ever see two combined opponents with over 100 fights professionally fighting against each other at this level of competition. So,
Yeah, these guys have been in mixed martial arts longer than anybody.
Yeah, Bobby Green was a strike force problem, man. He was a beast over there.
So, but Jim Miller, he's got that UFC vet blood in him. So he's been around. But Bobby Green's he's a gangster, man.
And then I got a good way to introduce this next fight.
Sure.
So obviously the early prelims start with Davison Figueiredo, Cody Garbrandt, and then you get Bobby Green, Jim Miller. Then by that time, you're probably going to have to have a bathroom break, maybe get a snack, cook dinner, check on your kids, give your wife some attention, anything. This would be the timeout. So when you want to take a timeout and go handle your business, this would be the time to do it. Your third fight of the night, women's strawweight division. Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez. Nobody's making women's MMA great again in this matchup.
Hey man, we got to give Jessica Andrade a little love here, dude. She's her weight classes have been all fucked up.
No, we don't.
She's coming off of a big win. I mean, let's give her a break here. All right.
The only reason the UFC put this fight in there is to make sure that people pace themselves and are able to watch every fight that actually matters. They put this fight on UFC 300 specifically to allow everybody to piss out the 10 Millers that they just drank, on the first two fights.
Yeah, it definitely should have started the night off.
I can't pace myself next Saturday. It's not going to happen.
Nah, no shot.
It's going to be sick.
I mean, from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m., I'm locked. I'm locked in, boys.
Yeah, I think I won't drink till the early. Never mind. I'm just going to stop.
Don't make any. I was going to say, don't make any promises you can't keep.
Yeah, it's going down. I'm going to pregame for this.
But all jokes aside, it does have a lot of implications into the strawweight division.
It's top
Andrade
5
coming off a win. Marina Rodriguez coming off a big win. So both of these ladies, either one of them wins, they're getting a top 3 fight next. And then obviously that strawweight division is we're gonna see later in the night. We're seeing the title fight for that. So definitely something to keep an eye out on. I know a lot of people aren't into women's MMA, but over the Octagon, we're here to make it great again. So
just not with this one, yeah.
Let's get right into it.
These odds are dead even.
Yep.
But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Andrade, but she has some crazy power for the women's strawweight division. But I think that's I think that's the only thing that she has a chance in this fight is she's going to catch Marina with something big. Yeah. But I mean, we're going to have to see. We talk about managing distance a lot on this podcast and in fighting as a whole in general. Marina Rodriguez is the bigger fighter as far as length and reach. And if she's able to, kind of manage that really well, I think it's going to be very, very difficult for Andrade to land one of those power shots. But again,
Andrade
she's one of those
beat up Mackenzie Dern, who had a bigger advantage than she did for sure. So
yeah,
I'm mad about that one. That's Shorty. That's Shorty number 1 right there.
Yeah, we love Mackenzie Dern.
How you Dern? Hey, how you Dern?
So I guess I'll go with my pick. I'm going to pick Andrade. And I don't even know how the outcome's going to be, but I'm just going to pick Andrade.
I think if Andrade wins, it's going to be Andrade by TKO.
I could see it.
But I think Marina Rodriguez by decision is my pick. Yeah,
Oh man,
confident
I got Marina by sub.
submission.
Okay.
Yep, and
We got a
for
three-way
no
action
reason
here.
why. For no reason why. I just felt weird.
It's gonna be hard to get
Sometimes
that
it'd be
bulldog
like
in a
that.
choke there, bud.
I don't know. She looked like she'd be willingly down to go down. That I gotta try.
Jessica Andrade, Jessica the man Andrade got more shoulders than neck. So
Put me in a
buddy.
triangle.
So,
yeah,
so we'll go into the next fight, and let's just remind these folks, guys, we're still on the early
prelims. Yeah,
We're not even at the prelims yet. We're still in the early prelims. And to top off our early prelims, we get one fan favorite of the podcast, Jalen the Tarantula Turner, versus another fan favorite of the podcast, Renato Moicano.
absolutely.
Great fight for Jalen, in my opinion, because Moicano's coming off a big win. He's just making his way back in. Turner's obviously coming off of that huge knockout win over Bobby Green. So it's kind of like a lose-lose for Jalen if he loses. But it's a great win for Moicano if he wins. And then if Jalen does win, boom, let's give him something good. Let's keep him in the mix. He's got to fight, 2 or 3 times this year to make his way back into that top 5, area. So I like the fight in itself. You got a guy who's a great striker who can control his distance very well, power in his punches, versus a guy who can get on the ground, submit you, do what he needs to do. It's definitely a nightmare stylistically for both guys. So I mean, I don't know if you guys got anything else to say about this one. I already know where I'm going, but
I think I'm on the same train as you probably. But I think, Jalen Turner likes to win by knockout TKO. Renato Moicano has never won a fight that way. So I feel like it's going to be, it's a good stylistic matchup, right? Like who ends up in kind of forcing their will upon the other person the most. And so, if Jalen's able to keep it standing and they stand and bang, I think that favors Jalen Turner for sure. And I think he wins that striking battle pretty easily.
I agree.
But the grappling is kind of the X factor. Like that's the X factor for me. Jalen's got length on him. He's got size on him that helps the striking. Moicano's tough though, man. You know what I mean? He's no slouch. He's super tough. Again, styles make fights, matchups make fights. This one is for the fans, super entertaining. 2 top 15 lightweights, number 10 and number 13. But yeah, I'm going Jalen Turner for sure. I don't know if he gets it done KO TKO, just based off what I saw from Moicano his last time out. Super tough, got a big chin on him. But yeah, I like Jalen Turner in this for sure.
I agree.
Okay. I myself, I think we're giving our first 3 out of 3 votes for someone right now for this fight card. We get 3 out of 3 for Jalen Turner, man. I'm doing the same thing. He's had a lot of fucking highlights on him. Like he's been earning the spotlight a lot. He's becoming a bigger name, especially with what he did over Bobby Green. That was awesome. Coming off of 2 losses before that, he's been in the gym, bro. He's been knowing this is his time. He's been working on his jiu-jitsu, so I think it's going to be not a big thing for him to not avoid these takedowns. So I got him by TKO all day.
Yeah, you got Jalen Turner by TKO. You think he gets it done inside the distance?
Yes, man. He's on it, bro. He looked fucking scary against Bobby Green.
Yeah, and Jalen, Tarantula. Listen, man, if you're hearing this, you're seeing this.
Come on, baby.
Looking at us, boy. Answer that DM. Come on the show.
Yes, man. We're trying to hook you up, dude. We're going to get a skateboard made for you with the Over the Octagon logo on it, so you can, skate some shit our logo.
We want to see that logo get tray flipped, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. We all about it, man. We love your fights, dude. We're big fans. We would love to have you on the show. But yes, I as well am going to go Jalen Turner by finish. So I think a 3-3 dab for that is in the books, and I want nothing more than to see Jalen Turner, Dan Hooker one more time, because that was one of the fights of the year, in my opinion, last year. I want to see that shit again. I want to see blood and war, and I want to see Jalen get get that dub back. So
Yeah, he wants it back too. So you know that's got to be on his mind.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, so that's the early prelims, fellas. I think we're going to cut it right here. We're going to get to a part 2 for the prelims. So if you're tuning in right now, we're going to wrap up this early prelim. Make sure you go to the next video where we're going to talk about the prelims. And then once you watch that one, make sure you go and watch the main event card, because we're going to talk about the main card.
Breaking
and
it all
keep
down.
this thing cooking. So signing off for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget, like, subscribe to all the shit, and we'll catch you on the next video.